Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, and the lab coat is on back order. Now, this week's Pokemon X singles battles is going to be using two more of my previously defeated Pokemon that didn't get victories in the Pokemon X double battles. I'm going to be bringing two of those and bringing back four of the victorious Pokemon from the Omega Ruby League to try to help out the two less victorious Pokemon, and by less victorious I mean they didn't win. So, see if we can actually get some victories in the single matches for those two Pokemon using the help of some of our previous victorious champions. So let's take a look at the team that I've assembled for this week and then get into some matches. So let's begin. Our team for this week is starting first with the previously defeated Critter, the Butterfree. Now, he's seen some pretty good battles in the past, mostly against computer opponents, so I do have considerably high hopes for him to see if he can actually get a victory in the single matches. He has the Calm Nature, and he's holding he has Compound Eyes, which increases his accuracy, and he's holding Wise Glasses to improve the power of all of his special moves, which you'll see he has Signal Beam, Giga Drain, Dream Eater, and with the Compound Eyes, Sleep Powder hits pretty much all the time. So we're going to be able to put some things to sleep and then heal back some damage thanks to the Dream Eater. The next previously defeated Pokemon is Bullwinkle the Tauros. Now, he's pretty powerful, he can get some good physical hits in. He used to have Snore as one of his moves, and the idea with him was to try to flinch the opponent while using Rest to heal back his HP. But I thought for this week, I don't have any electric attacks, so I kept his Headbutt, his Iron Head. I switched Snore for Wild Charge to get some electric type damage off on the opponent, and he does still have Rest. He is holding Chesto Berry, which will wake him up immediately, and Intimidate will lower the opponent's attack stat as soon as Bullwinkle comes into battle. So those are the two previously defeated. The first Pokemon we're going to bring back in the from the Omega Ruby League is Irwin the Krookodile. And he is very powerful. He's got the Moxie ability, which will increase his attack stat if he gets a knockout. He's holding Scope Lens to improve the chance of critical hits. And he's got Earthquake and Crunch, both for stab power. And I did have him with, I think it was Rock Slide originally. I decided I'm going to teach him Smackdown, see how well that works. Because I've never really used Smackdown online. But from what I understand, as long as there's a Flying type Pokemon or even a Levitate Pokemon, if you use Smackdown, they lose that ground immunity as long as they remain in battle, which means they're suddenly going to be vulnerable to the Earthquake. And I gave him back his Scary Face, which he originally had. It's always good to slow the opponent down and then suddenly outspeed them, getting your attacks off quicker than they are. So that is Irwin. Next up we have Divebomb the Gyarados. And I've never used a Mega Gyarados in the X League yet, but this week we are going to. Divebomb is holding the Gyaradosite. And of course he has the natural ability of Intimidate. Much like Bullwinkle, he's going to lower the opponent's attack stat when he comes in. And his moves are Dive, Ice Fang, and Iron Head, all physical attacks, which will be improved by the Dragon Dance, along with his speed. The next Pokemon, Machamp. And we've seen him quite a bit before, I believe. He's all physical power, where there's a lot of physical attackers in this week's team, so hopefully we won't be shut down by something with massive physical defense, but we'll see how it goes. He does have Guts, which will improve his attack even higher if he has a status condition, and Muscle Band is going to improve the power of all of his physical attacks, which is what he has all the way. We got Power Up Punch to increase his attack as well. This guy's all about boosting his attack. He's got Ice Punch for any flying types that might come in, Knock Off to get rid of some items and deal with some ghost types. And I did have him originally with Foresight, but I thought we're going to keep the Wide Guard for this week. We're going to see how well it goes, because Wide Guard is a lot more useful in a double battle when the opponent goes for a wide range move, but it could still protect him from Surf or Earthquake or something that, something along those lines that the opponent might try to hit Machamp with. Our final returning champion is going to be Fluffy the Clefable. She's pretty much the same as we saw her originally. I did swap out her Flamethrower for Dazzling Gleam. I want to get a Fairy type attack in here this week, and she is good to use that because she's got the stab power. She still has Metronome for some wacky fun, Moonlight to heal up, and Light Screen to improve the special defense of the team, because we are a little low on the special defense side this week. So I'm going to probably, if I see the opponent with a lot of special offensive Pokemon, I'll send in Fluffy first, use the Light Screen, and then the rest of my team should be relatively okay to be able to finish up the match. And to make sure that Light Screen stays in play as long as possible, she's holding Light Clay this week. Her ability Cute Charm says if she's connected physically by the opponent, as long as they're the opposite gender, there's a chance that they might become infatuated and start losing some turns to the infatuation. So that is going to be the team for this week. Let's get into some matches and see how well they fare in the online. Let's go. Alright, first opponent of the week from Saitama, Japan. Rating at 1528, and they are bringing a Scizor, a Azumarill, Haxorus, Tyranitar, Magnezone, and Wash Rotom. So definitely some pretty powerful Pokemon. We see mostly physical offense. The Rotom and the Magnezone, of course, are going to be more special based. So Light Screen is not going to do that much in this particular fight. Now, of the opposing team, would Critter or Bullwinkle be the better option? Bullwinkle could get a good wild charge off on the Azumarill if it comes in. And he's probably going to outspeed a good number of these Pokemon. The Haxorus could be a problem. Mega Scizor could be an issue as well. We don't actually have fire attacks this week, which is pretty unfortunate. So if that Scizor comes in, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull through this. But I think I'm going to lead. I'm actually going to lead with Critter. Possibly get some sleep powders off on the opponents. And since there is a lot of physical offense, I'm also going to bring Dive Bomb to get the Intimidate drop on the opponents. And what are the biggest threats there? Well, electricity is definitely going to be a problem. I think probably I should bring Irwin. He would be bad against a lot of these Pokemon. So Irwin is number 3. Let's get this battle underway. Whatever comes out first, we have to try to put it to sleep with the sleep powder. So the leads go into battle. In comes Wash Rotom and Critter. Now, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if we outspeed Rotom, but we're going to definitely give it a try. We're going to go for a sleep powder. And unfortunately, it is faster. I wonder if it's Choice Scarf. So Critter goes down on the single first hit of the match. I could have swapped in Irwin at that point, but it's too late now. Okay, so they're going to send in Scizor. Now, as I say, I could bring in Dive Bomb to lower the attack stat. I think that might be the best play. We'll lower that attack, and we're not going to Mega Evolve just yet in case it has some sort of a bug attack. We don't want to take a super effective hit. So we're going to Dragon Dance and get our speed and attack stat up. I don't think Scizor gets any electric or rock moves, which would be our biggest concerns right now. Yeah, it's going to withdraw right away. And the Rotom comes back in. Would they go for another Volt Switch? I think I'm not going to risk it this time. I am going to swap out immediately. Although they might predict that. I did just get the speed up. I think, no, I'm not going to switch out. I'm going to Mega Evolve to lessen the amount of electric damage we're going to take. And I could dive. It's going to be resisted. All the attacks are going to be resisted, actually. I think I'm going to go Ice Fang, actually. Mega Evolution Ice Fang. The question is, will one Dragon Dance allow us to outspeed if this thing is Choice Scarf? Of course, this is the 1 week we don't bring Earthquake. We did swap it for Ice Fang. So hardly any damage. And Thunderbolt. So we did survive that. Now, assuming it is choiced, I'm going to swap out and go right for Irwin right now. And if it's not choiced, this could have been a huge mistake. Now, come on back, Dive Bomb. Let's see what Irwin can do. So Thunderbolt, no effect. At this point, if they are choiced, they're going to switch out. I want to slow down whatever comes in, so I'm going to go Scary Face. Yep, it withdraws. Alright, what's going to come into play? Scizor is back. Slow yourself down there, buddy. Now, what is the best way to deal with this? All of my attacks, we have Earthquake, Crunch, and Smackdown. They're all going to be neutral. Crunch could get a defense drop. I think we're going to go Crunch. It is a Mega Scizor, as expected. Okay, so of course it could have Bullet Punch. And Swords Dance. Okay. Of course, Technician will boost the power of Bullet Punch and other... I think it's like any attack that is 60 power or less gets boosted by the Technician. So I'm going to Crunch again. There's Bullet Punch. This might take us out because of all the boosts. Yep. Well, it was a critical hit. I don't know if it needed to be critical. I'm going to say it did. Alright, so Divebomb comes back in. With all those boosts, I don't imagine we're going to survive the Bullet Punch, though. We're already pretty low on health. So we're just going to go... There's no point to Dragon Dance at this moment. I'm going to do it anyway, though, in case, on the off chance, they switch out. Nope, goes for another Bullet Punch, and it's probably going to drop the Gyarados. Yep, down goes Divebomb. So unfortunately, first match of the week results in a loss, but we're going to give it a try in match number 2. And our next opponent has been found with a very low rating from Hokkaido, Japan. So if I lose this one, that's not going to look good for me. But I'm not expecting, I'm expecting a fair fight, so I'm not going to underestimate my opponent just based on the low rating. Could have been just a stricken bad luck. So they have a Hawlucha, a Seaking. Is that going to go for Horn Drill? Very well could, but we'll see. And they got a Bisharp, Eradicate, Excadrill, and a Zangoose. Wonder if that's going to be the kind of Eradicate that I use. Counter Focus Sash combo. We'll find out. So, who should I lead off with? Well, this is definitely a physically offensive team. The Seaking might be special. I'm not sure how Seaking's stats work. Haven't seen very many online. So, that being the case, I believe our best bet might be to bring Bullwinkle to start with. Get the Intimidate off on whatever comes in. He does have Wild Charge to deal with that Seaking as well, in case that is their lead. So we got Tauros, we got... who could help benefit him? His biggest threats would be... Well, the Excadrill could block some good hits from Bullwinkle. He doesn't have anything good against the Steel and Ground type. And Hawlucha could be a problem as well. So what would be best to deal with those two? Maybe Machamp. He can do some good work on the Excadrill. Ice Punch on the Hawlucha as well. Yeah, I'm going to bring Machamp as my second Pokemon. Now the third and final. Thinking maybe Fluffy, but she wouldn't do very good. Her Light Screen wouldn't really benefit the team too much against these physical attackers. Wonder if I should just go with Divebomb again, get some double Intimidate. I think that's probably the best bet. Divebomb is choice number 3. Let's get this battle underway. I'm pretty sure, well, Bullwinkle is the fastest on the team this week, so I'm pretty sure he should outspeed a good number of the opponents. Seaking is the lead. Wouldn't be something if this was a Choice Scarf, Horn Drill Seaking. Alright, so we've lowered the attack stat. I'm going to want to pull Bullwinkle back at some point, because we want to use be able to use the Intimidate once again. Do I headbutt first and go for a flinch? I think I will. In case they bring in the Excadrill, I don't want to go for Wild Charge and lose a turn. So I'm going to try to headbutt first. And it goes for Surf. So we took that pretty decently. Now we go for the Wild Charge. If they do send an Excadrill, at least I got off a headbutt already. So this should floor... Nope. Okay, I completely forgot the ability Lightning Rod, and we've just boosted the Surf. I think we just lost Bullwinkle. Nope, he does hang in there. Okay. So, I want to rest before I pull him out of there, actually. Get the health back up to full. Wake up with the Chesto Berry. And then we're going to swap something else in, because I completely misplayed that just now. See what I was saying? I don't often fight Seaking. I wasn't expecting the Lightning Rod. There's another Surf. Should be less than half. Yep, pretty darn close to half, but okay. So who's going to take that the best? Definitely Divebomb. question is, what can he do against this thing? Well, definitely when he comes in, we're going to get the Dragon Dance up, speed up and boost the attack, then we can go for whatever attack we want to use. I can try Iron Head for more flinching. Okay, so we nicely resist that. So let's go Dragon Dance. We're not going to Mega Evolve just yet, because they do have a fighting type Hawlucha. So we clearly see we already outsped, but I'm trying to get the attack stat higher. And there's that Horn Drill. It does miss. Okay, that's enough of that. We can't play that game. Iron Head. Go for the flinch. I could have Mega Evolved for more damage, but again, I want to wait and see what comes in. So this is... Okay, Citrus Berry is going to heal up. I don't think a dive at this range is going to knock it out, so I'm going to have to go for... Although, I could Mega Evolve and dive. No, I don't want to lose the Intimidate ability just yet. I'm going to Iron Head once again. I think it was a critical hit. Nope. Oh, the Horn Drill connects this time. Oh well, I know that we can take this Seeking down now with a headbutt from Bullwinkle. Well, you weakened it up nicely for us, Divebomb. Okay, so they did have Excadrill, which could resist either of Bullwinkle's offensive moves. I'm trying to think what I should knock this thing out with. Iron Head or Headbutt would take down the Seeking. I don't think Iron Head would be good against... super effective against anything else they had on the team. So I'm just going to go straight up Headbutt. They had no Ghost types that I recall. I'm not going to be able to be immune to this. We will just drop the Seeking. No more Horn Drills for you guys. You've already cost us a Gyarados. That's enough. Now, if they do have Hawlucha, this is a problem. There's Zangoose. I'd like to lower the stats... But to do that, I have to swap in Machamp and then swap Bullwinkle back in. We're going to take 2 hits unnecessarily, so Bullwinkle's going to have to do whatever he can while he's in battle, and that's going to be Headbutt. Does he outspeed this? He does. I knew he was fast. One more, we'll take it out. If we survive this, we didn't. Now, if it has the Toxic or Flame Orb, which it does, it's definitely going to get a boost from the Guts ability. I think they get Guts. And it's all up to Machamp. I'm fairly certain we don't outspeed a Zangoose. But we're going to go Power Up Punch. If we do survive, we're going to get a boosted attack stat at least. Close combat is most likely going to bring us down. Nope, not quite, but pretty close to knocking us down. So Power Up Punch will finish the Zangoose. We get attack stat boosted. Depending on what they send in next, we might still pull this around. Please don't send Hawlucha. Send in something weak to ice. Now, what do we do? A Power-Up Punch, as long as it's not Focus Sash, will destroy this thing. I don't know if we're going to outspeed. We're not invested in speed at all with Machamp. We're just going to go Power-Up Punch. Let things play out. Iron Head is going to connect and bring down Machamp. It was a very close match, so we were one attack away from winning that one. But good game to my opponent. They just had the better type matchups. Our final opponent for the week, also hailing from Japan. I think it was all Japan opponents this week. And they're bringing a Aggron, Hippowdon, Aerodactyl, Tyranitar, Tyrantrum, and Venusaur. Which one's the Mega? There's like 4 possibilities. However, we do see a considerable water weakness in all of the opponents. Many of them are physically offensive. So I think Divebomb, I'm going to bring him for a third match for this week. He's just too effective against everything on the team. And I think I will lead with him, actually, because of the Intimidate. So he's first choice. Now, if they send in the Venusaur, he is one of the ones that... Or the Venusaur is one of the ones that could really slow down Divebomb with the Thick Fat if it's a Mega Evolution. The next question is, which other Pokemon of Critter and Bullwinkle do I bring in? I think definitely Bullwinkle. Give him another shot to win here. His Iron Head will be good against a good number of these opponents, as well as Wild Charge on, well, at least the Aerodactyl. And my third and final choice. I'm thinking... Well, we see a Dragon type on the opposing side, as well as a Dark type. I think I'm going to bring Fluffy for this one. See if her typing can help resist or completely block some of the offensive moves. So whatever comes in is going to get the Intimidate drop. If it's the Venusaur, that's not going to be that big of a difference, because they're more special based. Match number 3. Let's see if we can get a victory for this week. Do our best trying to do so. It all comes down to what does my opponent start off with. It's going to be Hippowdon. So we know that Rock-type moves could be a problem. I'm thinking I should Mega Evolve immediately. Let me see here. I could send in Bullwinkle to get another Intimidate drop. But then if they switch out, it's going to lose the momentum of getting Intimidate on the next opponent. So I think I'm just going to go straight up Mega Evolution to get rid of our Rock weakness, and Dragon Dance to speed ourselves up. Mega Gyarados. First time seen in the X League, actually. I didn't get to use it last battle. So let's see what this Hippowdon is going to go for. I think Stone Edge is a popular move on them. There's Stealth Rock. So we're going to want to limit the amount of switching in we do, although none of us are now weak to Rock. So we'll take regular damage from the Stealth Rocks coming in. Would they switch this thing out? They probably might with the Sandstream and bring in... Well, it'd kind of be risky for them to bring in the Tyranitar. But predicting that possibility, I'm going to go Iron Head, and if nothing else, we might get some flinching. So they do stay in. Iron Head does a decent amount, and it goes for Yawn. Of course, we might want to switch out now, but... No, we're gonna stay. We don't want to take the Stealth Rock damage, and if we don't have to, we're not gonna go for it. Let's go Ice Fang this time. We do connect and get some good, super effective damage off. Almost brings the Hippowdon down. So they predicted I was gonna switch, so they went for another Yawn. Now, I've seen Hippowdon use Slack Off, so we're gonna start healing up. I'm just going to start clicking Dragon Dance in the hopes that we wake up and get another attack and speed boost. So I'm going to withdraw, and what are we going to send in place? As soon as that Hippowdon comes back in, we know we can get the Headbutt off with Bullwinkle if he's out on the field. Now, we are susceptible to Grass attacks in our Mega Evolve state. Okay. I'm just going to keep Divebomb in. I'm going to go with an Ice Fang. If this does Mega Evolve, Mega Venusaur will part resist the Ice Fang, but it is still super effective, so it's probably our most damaging move. There's that Mega Evolution. Although, no, Mold Break is going to forget the ability. Completely forget what Mega Gyarados' ability is. It might not matter, because if they go for a good, powerful Grass attack, Giga Drain. Our Mega Gyarados doesn't take that, unfortunately. Now, if we still had Flamethrower... No, even Flamethrower wouldn't do much in this situation. They do have the Thick Fat ability boost for defense. So I'm just going to go and bring in Bullwinkle. He's the best bet, because if this Mega Venusaur has a poison move, it's going to be super effective against a little Fluffy. So we lower the attack stat, not that big of a difference, because these are more special based, as we saw Giga Drain. So we're just going to go Headbutt, try to get some decent damage off, and possibly some flinching. There's no way Mega Venusaur is going to outspeed Bullwinkle. So how much do we do? These things are pretty defensive. We've got one flinch. Sandstorm will lower it a little bit more. As long as we can not get knocked out by this Mega Venusaur. I do have rest. I can heal Bullwinkle back up to full. So let's go another headbutt. Can we get another flinch? Can we luck out? Nope, Giga Drain's gonna do some decent damage. Bullwinkle does hang in there. But a lot of that headbutt damage we just got off has been negated immediately thanks to Giga Drain. So at this point, I think we drop to the next round of Sandstorm, so we have to rest. The opponent had a pretty decent strategy using the Stealth Rock first and then using Yawn to try to convince me to start switching out my Pokemon. Gradually getting some residual damage every turn with the Stealth Rocks. And then as a critical Giga Drain this time, so rest was completely pointless. And unfortunately, we lose another match to a critical hit. I know it's not over yet, I still have Fluffy, but that decided the match right there. Any chance we had of winning is now out the window, as is the Sandstorm, so no residual damage for the rest of the turns, unless a Powdon comes back in. Alright, so our only hope to survive, if you want to call it hope, is a Light Screen. But they do outspeed us, and this should take us down. So we lose our third match of the week, very unfortunate. But next week is another week. Well, unfortunately, we don't win any of the matches this week, and I do know for a fact that the second match I could have played a lot better if I kept in mind that Sea King can have Lightning Rod. Now that I've actually experienced that in battle, I'm sure I'm going to remember it for next time. Don't use electricity on a Sea King. So, the other matches, I did just get outplayed, wasn't able to get some victories, but what I like about doing these videos, now, I know it's might be boring for some people to see, but it's helping me learn along the way things to watch out for. For example, I now, thanks to the double battles this week in Omega Ruby, when I see a Zoroark on the team, expect anything to be Zoroark. I did predict that one time in a previous battle, but I kind of forgot it for this week, and now I know about Sea King and Lightning Rod, certainly something I'm going to keep in mind. Of course, as I said, Sea King isn't that popular online, so I might not even have to encounter it again and deal with that. But anyways, so we get a couple of new Pokemon here. Well, not new, but Critter and Bullwinkle continue with a red glow. No victories for them this week, but someday we will give them another shot again. But next week, we're going to bring back a couple of other Pokemon from this shot that don't yet have the red or green glow, and give them a shot to go for some single battle victories in the Pokémon X League. If you want to see any particular Pokemon here used again, let me know which ones you'd like to see for next week, and I'll try to include them in a team to cover their type weaknesses. If I don't get any responses, then I'm just going to go with the Pokemon that were used the most, longest time ago, and bring them back because we haven't seen them for a while. So we'll see how well we can get some battles going on for next week. Alright, thank you for checking out this battle video. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought, and suggestions for how to improve some of these Pokemon perhaps, or something I could have done better in this particular battle to help me become a bit better of a Wi-Fi battler. Alright, thank you once again for checking out this battle video, and I'll catch you next time.